Hello my intelligent friends, welcome to this 8th lecture on the topic of dissolution of partner. This is the 7th question, although you can see the question number written here is question number 1. Reason is it is the first question of new type of logic. So let us start with reading the question. We'll try to understand the logic and then we'll try to solve the same. Vidya, Sharmila and Meghna are partners sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 5:3:2. Their balance sheet as on 31st March 2019 was as under. Balance sheet on 31st March 19, capital account of Vidya, Sharmila, Megha, current account of Vidya and Sharmila, sundry creditors, bills payable, sundry assets, bank, current account of Megha. They decided to dissolve the partnership firm on the above date as under. Sundry assets realized at 80% of book value, unrecorded outstanding expenses rupees 8,000 paid off, realization expenses amounted to rupees 6,000, sundry creditors and bills payable were paid rupees 34,000. Megha becomes insolvent and rupees 2,000 were recovered from her private estate. Prepare realization account, partner's current account, partner's capital account and bank account. So this is the problem of many firsts. What are the different first points? Number 1, there is a current account. Number 2, there is a current account debit balance. Number 3, unrecorded outstanding expenses are required to be paid off. So unrecorded liability paid off, first type adjustment. And one of the partner is becoming insolvent. So that is also required to be considered. So let us consider the observations. As usual, these observations are not for exam, they are only for you and me. This is the first problem of current account in dissolution and first problem of one partner becoming insolvent, also the first problem of unrecorded liability paid off. There are 3 partners, their PSR is 5:3:2, very good. All 3 have credit balance in capital account because their capital account is appearing on the liability side. But only 2 of them are having current account credit balance. One of them is having current account on the asset side, that is debit balance. Creditors and bills payable from the liability side will be transferred by us to realization account credit side. They are to be paid at an agreed value because that is adjustment number 4. Creditors and bills payable combined amount paid was rupees 34,000. Next, sundry assets from the asset side of balance sheet are transferred to realization account. So there are only 3 items: sundry assets, bank and current account. Sundry assets will be transferred to realization account debit side, bank account obviously to bank account debit side, and current account of Megha to her current account debit side. Let me disappear from the screen so that you can see the rest of the observations. After insolvency of Megha, adjustment number 5. After insolvency of Megha, her private estate realized only rupees 2,000. So these are the different points which are observed by us, which will help us for the purpose of remembering how to solve the problem. Let us now draw the accounts. First obviously is realization account, 16 to 18 lines. Next bank account. Next in this problem they have asked us to prepare current account, so at least 5 to 6 lines for partners current account. Obviously it looks like partners capital account. We have done it in admission and retirement death also. So partners current account, and then there is partners capital account, as usual 8 lines. So bank account 8 lines, partners current account 5 lines, and the partners capital account 8 lines, realization account 16 to 18 lines. Pause the video, draw the ledger accounts, and once you are through with it, then again resume the video and start with me. So let me now start with the first step. First step is transfer of assets and liabilities. Let me start from the liability side. Capital account of Vidya, Sharmila and Megha will be transferred to partners capital account credit side. Partners capital account credit side, by balance brought down 50, 40 and 30. Partners capital account credit side, by balance brought down 50,000, 40,000 and 30,000. Very good. Next one is current account of Vidya and Sharmila, that is first 2 partners, 6,000 and 6,000. Partners current account credit side, by balance brought down 6,000, 6,000, and for Megha we are going to consider 0 or a dash. Okay, I hope you can see that particular thing. Next part is sundry creditors and bills payable. They are to be transferred to realization account credit side. जिसका कोई नहीं होता है उसका realization account होता है. So by sundry creditors, by sundry liabilities, mistake on my part, sorry for that. By sundry liabilities, you must have already done it properly. I am very sure that you are intelligent students. You have solved so many problems with me now, so I am sure that you are having full guarantee of knowing exactly what to write where. Creditors and bills payable 28,000 and 10,000. 28,000 and 10,000. So outer column will be 38,000. Okay, 38,000. Then comes the next point. Liability side is fully posted now. Next one is sundry assets. Realization account debit side 1,28,000. The name itself is two sundry assets, so there is no tension for us. Two sundry assets 1,28,000. Bank is debit side, to balance brought down 16,000. Current account of Megha will be current account debit side 26,000. Current account debit side, to balance brought down 26,000. And first two partners debit side balance is 0. So the first step, open necessary ledger account, is over. Second step, transfer of balance sheet items at book value to different accounts, that is also over. Now the third step is realization of assets. Sundry assets realized at 80% of book value. So the amount of sundry assets is how much? 1,28,000. We are going to realize 80% of the same. Cash is coming in. Debit what comes in? Cash or bank account, debit to realization account, and realization account credit side by bank account. How much is the amount? 80%. 80% of book value. So calculate it quickly. 1,28,000 into 80%. 1,28,000 into 80%. That comes to 1,02,400. 1,02,400. Okay. Second effect, bank account debit side 1,02,400. So assets realized 80% of book value, good. Unrecorded outstanding expenses of rupees 8,000 paid off. Unrecorded liability, that means it was not there in balance sheet. It was not there in balance sheet, but it is still now appearing in front of the liquidator and asking him to pay rupees 8,000. So liquidator will have to pay the same. Cash is going out. But cash is going out for what? Cash is going out for an unrecorded liability. It is not going for a recorded liability. We'll specify now anyway, it's a point of dissolution. So whether it is going for recorded liability or it is going for unrecorded liability, that doesn't make much of the difference now. We need not consider whether it is our expenditure or our loss or we are paying to any personal account. All those differences are very important when the business is a going concern. Now since it's a dissolving concern, are you paying to a recorded liability, that means to a personal account, or you are paying to unrecorded liability, that means it is your loss? All these things are not material. We can say straight away it is just like your realization expenses which were not there in the balance sheet, but we are paying them, and the entry we pass is realization account debit to cash or bank account. Similarly, unrecorded liability which is not there in balance sheet but now paid off will be entry is realization account debit to cash or bank account. So unrecorded liability paid off, the entry is just like realization expenses, realization account debit to cash or bank account. It's a loss and losses to be debited to realization account. Cash is going out, so credit what goes out to cash or bank account, entry is realization to cash or bank. But they have also told you there are expenses of rupees 6,000 and creditors and bills payable were paid rupees 34,000. So ultimately everything is being paid off. We will consider one single entry for the purpose of all these different things. We'll specify here to bank account, first one is unrecorded expenses, second one is realization expenses, third one is creditors and bills payable. Because they have not given us a separate amount for creditors and bills payable, they have given us a combined amount for creditors and bills payable rupees 34,000, and unrecorded expenses paid off 8,000, realization expenses 6,000. 8,000 and 6,000. Let us take the total. 34 plus 6 is equal to 40 plus 8 is equal to 48,000. So the cash which is going out, or the bank which is the giver, that is of rupees 48,000. Bank account credit side by realization account 48,000. Okay. Next one, Megha becomes insolvent and rupees 2,000 were recovered from her private estate. So cash is coming in and Megha's private estate is giver. That means Megha's capital is the giver. So entry will be cash or bank account debit to Megha's capital account 2000. Now why are we receiving cash from her? Can we pass this entry afterwards? Yes, that is also possible. One can argue that, sir, partner will bring in cash only after thinking about how the realization account is closed. So let us close realization account, find out profit or loss, transfer it to partner's current account, because in this problem there is current account. Let us close current account, transfer it to capital account, then we'll try to find out how much is the money which his capital account is having. Is it a credit balance or it's a debit balance? And if it is a credit balance, we will pay him money. If it's a debit balance, he will bring in money. At that time we will think about how much Megha is bringing in. So one method of solving it is, this is an amount which is brought in by the partner at the time of dissolution. So let us consider it after closing realization account. That is also one valid method or valid technique for the purpose of solving. I am going to follow the same. So let me now consider that the adjustment of Megha bringing cash is kept pending. Let me close realization account. Why did I keep it pending? Because it's an amount which is brought in by a partner after becoming insolvent, and his insolvency and all are important for us only after completing our books of accounts. So let me start our realization account, find out the amount of total profit or loss as the case may be, and then we'll consider it to be transferred to partner's current account, because in this problem there is current account in their profit sharing ratio. So I think 48 plus 28, that goes to how much? 1,20,000 plus 40 is equal to 1,60,000 plus 16 is equal to 1,76,000. So 1,76,000 is the total. 1,76,000 is the total. Okay, let us find out the balancing figure. 1,76,000 minus 38,000, 1,76,000 minus 38,000 minus 1,02,400, that goes to 35,600. 35,600 is a balancing figure. Let me put a circle around it, and it should be transferred to whom? It should be transferred to partner's current account. What are their names? Their names are Vidya, Sharmila and Megha. So I'll consider Vidya, sorry, here it is Megha, Sharmila, and above her Vidya, and above that by partner's current account. By partner's current account. What is their PSR? PSR was 5:3:2. So let me consider the same, 5:3:2. So 35,600 to be divided as 5:3:2. 35,600 to be divided as 5:3:2. So divided by 10 into 5, that goes to 17,800. 17,800. Next one, 35,600 divided by 10 into 3, that goes to 10,680, and 35,600 divided by 10 into 2, that is 7120. Please make your own calculation, do not depend upon me. 35,600 is the amount of loss to be divided among different partners in their profit sharing ratio, and profit sharing ratio is how much? Profit sharing ratio is 5:3:2. So accordingly I have divided the same, 17,800, 10,680 and 7120. It is to be transferred to partner's current account. So I am going to partner's current account debit side. I am writing here to realization account. The amount is 17,800, 10,680 and 7120. 17,800, 10,680 and 7,120. Okay, So here our partner's current account is closed, sorry, realization account is closed. Let us now close partner's current account. In the partner's current account, we can find that Vidya and Sharmila are having a credit balance of 6,000, but their debit side capital account or current account total is higher. It is 17,800 and 10,680, which is higher than the amount of the credit amount of 6,000. And then Megha is having a credit no credit balance. Her debit balance is 26,000 plus 7120. That goes to 33,120. 33,120. This we are going to transfer to partner's capital by partner's capital account. It will be how much? 33,120. From 10,680 remove 6,000, that comes to 4,680. And from 17,800 remove 6,000, that comes to 11,800. So 11,800, 4,680 and 33,120 is the debit balance of partner's current account. Is the debit balance of partner's current account, which will have to be transferred by us to their partner's capital account. So partner's capital account debit side I'll write to partner's current account. Okay, so 11,800, 4,680 and 33,120 is the amount to be debited to partner's capital account. Now we are going to tell Megha that please bring 33,120 from your house. We are going to tell Megha that please bring 33,120 from your house. Megha is going to tell us, but I am already having my capital of 30,000 on the credit side. So why are you expecting me to bring 33,120? I am not going to bring 33,120. Then we are going to tell her, okay, you are saying what you are saying is correct. Your capital account is debited by 33,120, but your capital account is already having a credit balance of 30,000. It means you will have to bring in 3,120. Now please go back to your house and bring in rupees 3,120. At that time, Megha is telling us that she is declared as insolvent and her private estate is having only rupees 2,000 now, only rupees 2,000, which she can bring for us. We are saying, okay, now since you are declared insolvent, we don't have any other option. Whatever cash you can bring in, that is sufficient for us. We will adjust the rest of the money. So by bank account, who is bringing in? Megha is bringing in. Second effect will be Megha's bank account debit side to Megha's capital account. Amount is how much? 2,000. To Megha's capital account, amount is 2,000. Now remaining money, Megha is still required to bring in, but she has already told that sorry, I cannot bring in money. So the amount of Megha's capital account debit side, 33,120, will have to be closed by us. We can specify the maximum difference which we can get is only 1,120, which Megha is not going to bring in. Now what is this? This is called as deficiency of Megha. This is called as deficiency of Megha. Megha is our debtor by rupees 33,120, but she was our creditor by rupees 30,000. So she was our net debtor by rupees 3,120, but she has been declared as insolvent. That means her assets are insufficient to pay off her liabilities. So all her assets are sold off, and whatever money which was available, that was paid off to different creditors. After paying different creditors, the remaining amount which is remaining in her private estate is only rupees 2,000. That is what we have received. Remaining 1120, Megha is telling sorry, she cannot pay. Since Megha is not paying, our debtor is not paying, our partner who has become our debtor is not paying, we can say that a partner has become bad debtor. So for us it is bad debt. But it is a bad debt not on account of sale of goods, it is a bad debt on account of partner's capital who has been declared as insolvent. So we will transfer this deficiency ultimately to whom? To the partner's capital. Who are the partners to whom it should be transferred? It should be transferred to other solvent partners. Who are the other solvent partners? Vidya and Sharmila. In which ratio it should be transferred? It should be transferred in their profit sharing ratio. So 1,120 rupees is the amount of bad debt which is suffered by us. on account of insolvency of one of the partner, this is a loss. Loss is to be transferred to other partner's capital account debit side. So we'll specify here to Megha's capital. To Megha's capital account. And the amount is how much? Let us find out. 1120 to be divided by the profit sharing ratio of Vidya and Sharmila, that is 5:3. That means it is to be divided by 8. So divided by 8 into 5, that comes to 700 for Vidya, and 1120 divided by 8 into 3, that comes to 420 for Sharmila, and Megha's amount is rupees dash. So 700, 420 and dash, that is the amount which is to be borne, that is a loss on account of insolvency of Megha, to be borne by other solvent partners, that is Vidya and Sharmila. This is the principle of unlimited liability you will have to bring in from your house, and also the principle of joint and several liability when one of the partner is insolvent, not in a position to bring in the necessary cash, then whatever loss happens on account of such situation, that loss is to be borne by other partners in their profit sharing ratio. Vidya and Sharmila can say that, sir, it is not our loss, this is the loss of Megha, she should bring in. Megha is saying, yes, but I have already sold off all my private assets, there is nothing remaining now, so whatever remaining, that is what I have given, 2,000 rupees. Rest of the money will have to be foregone by you, so that is a loss which is to be borne by other partners, joint and several liability. Okay, and unlimited liability principle. So this is to be considered as by whom? By Vidya and Sharmila's capital. By Vidya and Sharmila's capital account. Okay, this amount 1120 was a balancing figure, it was not known to us, and then we have divided it among Vidya and Sharmila in which ratio? In the ratio of 5:3, that is their profit sharing ratio. Now we can close Vidya's capital account and Sharmila's capital account. It is 50,000 and 40,000. So let me put it on the debit side also, 50 and 40,000, and then I'm going to say whatever amount is remaining, that can be given back to them. So to bank, amount will be 50,000 minus 11,800 minus 700. 50,000 minus 11,800 minus 700, that comes to 37,500. 37,500, and 40,000 minus 4680 minus 420, that comes to 34,900. 34,900, that is the amount which is to be given to these two partners as the remaining capital. Actually speaking, Vidya was saying that please give me 50,000. We told her, sorry, you are already going to suffer a loss on account of your own current account, 11,800, so that much amount we are going to pay you less, and plus you will have to also suffer the loss on account of one of the partner being insolvent, that is 700. So although your capital account was having a balance of 50,000, so we owe you rupees 50,000, we owe you rupees 50,000, but your current account was having a debit balance of rupees 11,800, so you owe us 11,800. Let us net it off, let us set it off, and you are one of the partners, you are one of the friends is insolvent now, that insolvency deficiency will be also transferred to you. So ultimately we will pay you rupees 50,000 minus 11,800 minus 700. So the amount which is to be paid to Vidya is 37,500, and by applying the same logic to Sharmila, the amount which is payable to Sharmila is 34,900. Let us transfer it to bank account credit side, 37,500 and 34,900. 37,500 and 34,900. Okay, names are Vidya and Sharmila. By Vidya's capital account and by Sharmila's capital account. By Vidya's capital account, by Sharmila's capital account. I hope it is clear to all of you. Now let us check whether our account is tallying or not. If bank account tallies, that means all our entries are correct and we have not made any mistake. So let us take the total of the same, 16,000 on the debit side plus 1,02,400 plus 2,000, that comes to, please do your total on your own, don't wait for me to do the same. The debit side totaling is 1,20,400, and let us check the credit side. 48,000 plus 37,500 plus 34,900, that is 1,20,400. 1,20,400. The balance sheet is tallying. So first question, which was having a difficult situation, multiple different situations, current account was there, current account debit balance was there, unrecorded liabilities paid off, and one of the partner has become insolvent. So we have seen the steps for the same. What is the way in which we have done it? Number 1, open necessary ledger accounts. Number 2, transfer of assets and liabilities. Number 3, realization of assets. Number 4, payment of liabilities. Number 5, we have kept one adjustment pending, and we directly went into closing of realization account. Cash brought in by partner out of his private estate for the purpose of settling his account is the adjustment we have kept pending. We close the realization account, find out profit or loss, transfer it to partner's current account, close current account, transfer it to capital account, close insolvent partner's capital account first. Don't close everybody else's account together. Close insolvent partner's capital account first, that is Megha's capital account. Find out the balancing figure of her capital account. Find out how much cash she is bringing in. Whatever cash she is bringing in, that should be recorded for. Thereafter, whatever cash is not possible to be brought in by her, that is called as a deficiency. It is to be transferred to other 2 partners or other 3 partners, as the case may be. In this problem, there are other 2 partners in their profit sharing ratio. So accordingly, we have transferred the 1,120 rupees deficiency to Vidya and Sharmila in the ratio of 5:3, that is 700 and 420. That's how we have completed the entire working. The most important point to be kept in mind, some inquisitive students may ask this question, that sir, but why did you close realization account first, and why did you not pass the entry for 2,000 rupees received from Meghna or Megha first? The logic is very simple. There is a chance that our realization may result into profit. We don't know exactly whether it will result in profit or not. If it results in profit, the current account will get credited. If it gets credited, there is a chance that capital account will also get credited. If capital account gets credited, there is a chance that we may be owing some money to Megha, and we will not have to ask her to bring anything from house. So to actually check, can we demand any money from Megha or not, and how much is to be demanded from her? For that purpose, we'll have to close realization account first. This is a very, very important point. Whenever a partner is insolvent and is bringing in some money from his private estate, the flow of entries should be like this. Close realization account, find out profit or loss, transfer it to current account or capital account, as the case may be. Then close the insolvent partner's capital account first. Record the cash whatever is received from him, and then find out the balancing figure. That balancing figure is deficiency of that partner. He's a bad debt. It should be transferred to other 2 partners or 3 partners, as the case may be, in their profit sharing ratio, who are solvent partners. And thereafter close solvent partners capital account, find out the balancing figure. If it is required, they will bring in cash. If it is possible, we will pay them cash, and then ultimately cash or bank account should tally. So the first problem is over. Very beautiful problem. I'm very sure that you have understood it. If there is any doubt, don't forget to ask me in the comment section. I'll be surely answering the same. And in the next question, we will consider 1 level extra difficulty in case of insolvency. So till the next question, bye bye. See you.